Well, hi everybody. This is Elizabeth with Live Simple, Live Free. And I remember a little poem that I used to say when I was a kid. It says, "Spring has sprung, the grass is riz." I wonder where the flowers is. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we've realized that it's getting to be about time to trim our roses as we're coming into spring now. So if we look here real closely, we are getting buds in here now. They're starting to bud up and definitely trying to wake up. And so that means it's getting to be time now to get them ready for their growing season this summer. Now, as you look here, we have my gorgeous Dolly Parton. Man, I love those red roses. We have a kind of littler. These guys got a lot bigger, and then they start getting a little smaller toward the end there. They're all still fine, but what we have here is deer pruning. So I think that they got the Dolly Parton, even though it's close to the house, because it's very rich smelling, beautiful, full roses. I think they must just smell yummy. And then as we get farther along, I think the deer chewed on these guys. For one thing, they're a little bit of different kind of rose, but chewed on them because they're far enough away from the house to feel more comfortable. So I don't mind. They're still healthy. I think they got a chance to develop some good roots and get themselves strong, and I'm looking forward to coming into the spring and summer with these roses. And then if we look over here, we're also going to be trimming the 2 roses that I have planted there right by the front porch. Okay. All right, now I'm going to be using my wonderful heroic rose trimming device because I can't bend over that far without losing my balance.
Where is it?
It's you. This is my rose trimming device right here.
Just happen to have my handy dandy rose trimming device.
Right, yes, we got some rose clipping trimmers. Yes. Okay. It is wonderful to anticipate spring around here. This is going to be great. So one of the first things that we have to do is probably bring the basic height of these bushes down at least half. So that'll be the first thing we'll do, is just trim it down to about half. We don't have to be afraid of doing this. It's good for them. So get that. Yeah, there we go. Now what this does is it gives Bill a place to kind of even it out at. So the first thing we'll do is just even this out. As time goes by and these bushes get thicker and bigger, we're liable to even have more bushiness on the inside, maybe leftover leaves. And you want to do the top trimming so the rest of it is easier to get to. So yeah, get it down to all about the same height. Okay, now at this point, what he's going to want to do is look for any branches that are really weaker or smaller. We want to be left with the sturdy, bigger branches. So he's going to be trimming off anything that seems like small little things so that we can let the main growth of the plant come out of these strong branches. So you can see he's trimming off the small ones. And just looking from the base here is where, because this is still a pretty young plant, so it's not as big and bushy as it's going to be. And then you also want to watch to trim off anything where you have 2, even if they're good sized branches, you have them right next to each other. Roses like to have a lot of air and light that can get into when they're growing, so you want to just take out stuff that just makes it dense and give branches a chance to grow bigger and stronger. And it will love blooming when it's been pruned right. So yeah, you can see now it's getting simplified. You might want to look right here, hun.
Ah, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that one is right next to the big one, just kind of clinging there, so we just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just take out that one. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's, you know, even though they can seem like they could be healthy branches, you want to really trim things out. It'll be healthier in the long run. All right, that's looking good. And then he wants to clear debris around from the bottom. And I'm hoping we should be able to get some mulch in this year. And then I will be coming out and showing you, I'm going to go ahead and feed them a little bit. We're not looking at having a lot of freezes left at this point. And since they are starting to grow, it's a good time to feed them, especially if it looks like there could be a little bit of rain that would help the fertilizer to sink down into the ground. So, okay, good job, hon.
Be sure you wear gloves.
Oh, yes, and something sturdy that's not going to get snagged, you know,
Yeah.
by the thorns. So, okay, well, good. Now, from everything that we've been able to learn, once you see that they're trying to start budding out and that growth is starting, we want to go ahead and give them something to eat. So I've got some Rose and Bloom. It's a continuous release plant food that I have here, and I'm just going to sprinkle some around it. And if it doesn't rain, which it looks like it could, but I will make sure I water at least a little bit if it doesn't rain, so that it'll soak into the ground. But this will help give them something to eat as they're just starting to grow this year. So I'm just gonna, you don't want to overdo it. I'm just gonna take some and sprinkle it kind of around. You don't put it right where the root is underneath. So this circle that I'm making around here, we've heard people refer to it as the drip line. And this way it'll get fed, but it's not putting it right where the root ball is or anything. It's just surrounding it to bring nourishment to the plant. So I will feed all these guys. And like I said, if it doesn't rain anytime very soon here, I will go ahead and water them. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just some rose food. Now, if this was bare dirt here, I would probably rake some of the dirt over it, but the food is falling down to the dirt in amongst the grass, and I think once it gets wet, it'll soak in. So, all right, give all these guys some food around the edges. Okay, so I'll feed all of them that way. Well, so here we have these all trimmed. I have fed them. I think we really are going to be able to mulch this year. We never really got to mulching last year. And so I think we'll try to definitely mulch this year, but they are trimmed and look like they have come through the winter beautifully. And so I'll feed them. And like I said, if it doesn't rain, which looks like it could pretty soon, I'll come out and water to help that food sink into the ground. Now I want to take a second and show you up in the front too. Well, now we're here in the front of the house, and this was a garden bed that was here, you know, when we first got the house. This rose bush here was already planted, and it had little delicate pink roses last year. We planted this one, and we're hoping this year to really get this completely cleared out and do some mulching here too. Another thing that's really fun up here already is that if I had smell-o-vision, you guys would be able to smell the mint already. We're going to get a beautiful big patch of mint growing up here this spring. And look at some of the bulbs. Can you see that right there, hun? Some of the bulbs are coming up. And I love when the mint comes in. It smells so good. And I'm excited to see the spring come with my dogwood. And it's already getting buds on it, and I know those are going to just burst into the most beautiful white dogwood flowers.
I'm resting from my labors.
Yes. Thank you, sweetheart. You were a very good rosebush trimmer for me today. Thank you. Love having this table and chairs out here. Oh, it's so nice. This tree, as I've mentioned in other videos, has been beautiful every season, even in the winter. All this beautiful like lichen that's grown on it, because it's such a mature tree. It's beautiful every season, and so I appreciate it very, very much. I've got my bird feeders hanging there, and up by the porch, I'll be getting them full as soon as it looks like it's about time. So, gonna start getting the garden beds ready.
If you watched any of our videos, you know she loves her dogwood.
Well, people have probably already heard this before, but if you haven't, I've loved dogwoods ever since I was on my grandma's farm, and she would talk about them, and then I've seen them growing, like up in Pennsylvania, they were growing like in the woods. And dogwood trees, if you look through the forest in the early spring, the flowers come out before the leaves are really coming out everywhere. So when you look, it's like lace just floating in the air all over the place. I love flowering trees. And I have tried to grow a dogwood over and over again. We have had, they got destroyed. We had a huge herd of deer that were living close to where we lived before, and they knocked a fence down to eat my dogwood. And we finally had some growing up in the tiny house, which was great. But then, of course, we needed to move. And so when I realized, hi, walking a beautiful dog down the road.
It's a neighbor that we've never met.
But very friendly. That's really nice. But when I realized there was a mature dogwood here, I flipped. I absolutely flipped. So I've had a spring now and a summer, fall, and winter, and I'm looking forward to the next cycle starting again. So exciting. And I'd had a winter first, but anyway, spring was very exciting. So anyway, things are going to start blooming. We're going to check on our fruit trees. We've already started, planning on how to care for them. So it's an exciting time. Alrighty. Well, thanks for letting me blather about my dogwood. But you wait till I start showing you pictures this year. Woohoo! All right. Well, I appreciate that Bill did all that trimming, and I think the roses are going to be beautiful. We will certainly share them as they bloom. So anyway, spring is coming. Anything else, dear?
Nope. I'm just waiting on you.
All right, listen, we love you guys. Live simple.
Live free.
Yes.
That's my line.
Yes, sorry, I'll try. Live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
We love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye. Oh boy, I trounce on your line. I don't mean to do that.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
I know, I trounce all over your part of it. Sorry. Oh.